Thanks. You have to remember as well, we have the DSA and the DMA, both of which I think are relevant in terms of your question. Tim.
Johannes.
Not Tim, Johannes.
Yeah, no, but both legislations foresee fines. I mean, 6% of worldwide global turnover in the worldwide turnover, it's the same thing. 6% of global turnover under the DSA and 10 to 20% under the DMA. What comes after fines? I mean, I'm not sure I get your question. Of course, I mean, a company is always, I mean, everybody can always go to court. I mean, companies can also, you know, have take legal action against the designation decision if they want it. But I mean, we're jumping the gun here, right? So we now have entry into force. You know, then there is a designation process. Then there is a review process. For example, under the DSA, there is the obligation for very large online platforms to assess their structural risks, you know, so that is also going beyond illegal content, addressing harmful content. You know, then there is a process in which we would review this assessment. Then there is an expertise or like an experts unit built up in the JRC who will look into this specifically. So it's not that we, you know, look first day, okay, bam, fine. But this is a possibility. The fine is a possibility. Then there's even further going sanctions. Measures. I just mentioned it. I mean, we can even go until temporarily disabling a service in Europe. This is foreseen in the law. All this is explained in our Q&A, which is online. And then, if a company wants to go to court, of course, this is always a possibility in état de droit, as we have it in the European Union. And then the jurisdiction is, of course, in Europe.
So basically, we have preventive measures, then we have fines, and then there may be other possibilities that the authorities can use in order to get the company to comply. For example, in the case of the DMA, it can be a periodic penalty payment. And if there are systematic breaches of its obligations as a gatekeeper, as a last resort, you can have what we call behavioral and structural remedies, for example, divestitures of parts of a business. So we have different types of measures that are possible, some for the DSA, some for the DMA, and as Johannes says, this is all explained in the documentation that we have on these procedures. But what is clear is that this is European-based, okay? These are not things that require us to go to courts outside of the European Union. This is action that can be taken by the European Union within the European Union. And then we will have to see, based on experience, exactly what are the steps that bring the best results. But it's a bit early days yet.
Can I maybe add, if I can maybe add one point, under the DSA, for example, you have the obligation for legal representation in the Union. So you need to be able to address a platform, no matter what size, by the way, not only for the very large online platforms, to exactly have a conversation, right? And also, you know, inform and about issues or even discuss them. So this is not the case today. There are platforms in Europe which do not have a legal representative, and this will no longer be the case, no matter what the size is.